everyone. My name is Kaylee. I am an intern at Walk with a Doc. This week we are proud to present Dr. Andrew Freeman, a cardiologist from Denver, Colorado. Thank you for tuning into our virtual event. We hope you guys have a great walk.
Hi everyone, Andrew Freeman here from National Jewish Health in Denver, Colorado, where we are also doing Walk with a Doc quite regularly. As you probably know, with the recent changes in our country and the exposure to the COVID pandemic, walking in groups is no longer advisable to prevent the transmission of disease. So what can you do instead? Well, fortunately, even though many of us are under lockdown, in many places we're still able to walk outside or be outside or even hike outside as long as we maintain our social distancing of at least 6 feet or more. I usually recommend to folks that walking every day for 30 minutes of breathlessness is all you really need if you can do it. And of course, if you have time to do more, feel free. But the best time of day might be to go early. If you go early, a lot of folks are not out yet. You can often hit the parks and see very few people, especially right around sunrise. And if the parks are busy, consider just walking around your neighborhood or some other place that doesn't have a lot of people around. And do your best to try to get in 30 minutes every day, because this is truly nature's magic recipe to boost immune function and also help to reduce chronic diseases which don't go away even though there's a pandemic out there. So people often ask me, what else can I do to stay well during this type of environment? So the answer is probably the same 5 things I always tell people, which is getting in your 30 minutes a day of breathless physical activity in whatever form that takes, obviously maintaining social distancing in the current stage. And the second is to eat a predominantly low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet. And we know that eating a diet rich in these whole foods, bright colors, spices, are loaded with antioxidants and also have an amazing ability to help our immune system be even more effective than it normally would be. And then we also know that this needs to be combined with stress relief. We know that stress makes everything worse. It also can often hurt our immune system. So use your exercise as a good stress reliever, but then spend 30 minutes peering outside, looking at the sunrise, looking at your garden if it's starting to bloom, or just meditating or praying or doing something that's mindful. Now, that doesn't mean reading a book and watching TV. That doesn't necessarily give you that same mind-clearing effect. You don't want to just occupy the mind. You want to really clear it. And these days, there's a lot to be stressed out about. And all you can do is your best, and remind yourself that you're doing your best when you're doing this, so that way you can move on to positivity. So we talked about diet, we talked about exercise, we talked about stress, but remember that connection, support, and believe it or not, love, actually there's real scientific data that shows that people who have strong relationships with people that matter to them actually do better. So I encourage you to work on relationships, and there's no better time when you're stuck cooped up inside with all the people that you want to have these nice relationships with. And if you happen to be alone, use this time to connect virtually with people. FaceTime, Skype, Zoom. It's easy to do, it's free, and it's really a great thing. It's a good time to catch up with old friends because we all get so busy in the day-to-day, and if you're not working as much, use that time to build your relationships and rekindle old ones. The last part is to sleep enough. A lot of us are not sleeping enough on a day-to-day basis when we're working as crazy as we have been. So when there's some quiet time, use that to catch up on sleep. You're looking for 7 hours a night of uninterrupted sleep, which may sound like a lot, but actually 7 to 10 hours seems to be the sweet spot to reduce cardiovascular events. So again, the 5 pillars: eating mostly plants, exercising more, stressing less, loving more, and sleeping enough. And if you can manage that, that's one of the best ways to stay well. And of course, wash your hands frequently, disinfect common surfaces, doorknobs, touchpads, iPads, cell phones, keys, things that you wouldn't normally think about disinfecting. Wash hands when you come into the house, wash hands when you leave the house, wash hands before you prepare a meal, wash hands after you eat a meal, and do as much of this as you can to stay well. And most importantly, stay away from others. Until this pandemic is over, it is easy to spread. So with that, I wish you lots of health, safety, happiness, and hopefully staying as disease-free as possible. And of course, reach out to your doctors and nurses and nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, the whole team. If you need support or help during this time, we're here to help. Take care and be well.